Let's see another problem today, that is max sum contiguous subarray. Okay, so you need to find the maximum sum of contiguous non-empty subarray within a given array. Okay, for example, you have an input 2 3 4 and minus 10, so your output should be 9. Okay, that is 4 plus 3 plus 2 is 9. So this subarrays has the maximum sum, that is 9. Okay, so let's first understand what are the subarrays of this given array. So the first set of subarray is going to be something like this: 2, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, and minus 10. Okay. Uh, the next set is going to look something like this: 3, 3, 4, 3, 4, and minus 10. The next is going to look like 4, 4, minus 10. The next is going to look like minus 10. Okay. Okay. First you start from index 0, subarray, then index 1, all the subarrays, then index 2, all the subarrays, then index 3, and the subarrays. Okay, so let's see how do we solve this by using an code. So let's see, like a normal approach, like what someone would take. Okay, suppose you have an function called max subarray, which has an integer array with these values. Okay, so you need to declare integer called maxsum that holds the minimum, that lowest possible integer value possible. Okay, and you create a for loop which loops over this array, and you declare a variable called current sum, and you again create another for loop which starts from I till the end of the array, and you keep on adding the values of the array in the current sum. So here you use the max function and return the maxsum. Okay, so this is a very normal approach which someone would take. uh, however, the problem with this approach is there is no problem actually, uh, but you see, the time complexity of this approach goes to big O of n square. Okay, so can we reduce it? Okay, can we reduce this big O of n square to big O of n? Okay, yes, there is something called Kadane's algorithm. Okay, so by using that we can get an ON approach. Okay, so let's see how the algorithm works. Okay, this is commented out, so this code won't run. Okay, please don't get confused by this. Okay, so let's see how the Kadane's algorithm is going to work. Okay, so in the main class, within the main method, I have created an array which consists of the element 2, 3, 4, and minus 10. Okay, I am creating an object of the solution class and calling the max subarray method with the array passed as argument. Okay, and we are printing the maximum sum of this array. Okay, this is returning the maximum sum, and we are simply printing that. Okay, so let's see how this Kadane's algorithm is going to work. Okay, so here's the maxsum array function. Okay, we have declared a variable called maxsum and current sum. We have initialized the current sum to 0, and maxsum we have assigned integer dot mean value. Okay, this will hold the lowest value possible. Okay, okay, so you are seeing what value it holds here. Okay, it's a minus 214748368. Okay, so this maxsum is going to hold the minimum value possible. Okay, so I am using here integer dot mean value. Okay, and I have created a for loop which loops over this array, and we are calculating the current sum. Okay, current sum is equal to current sum plus a of I elements of the array. Okay, later after that we are calculating the max sum by using the math.max method, which within which we are taking max sum and current sum. So it will this will return the maximum value between these two variables. Okay, now here is the main logic behind the Kadane's algorithm. So if somewhere we get current sum less than 0, then we are simply ignoring that, means we are simply discarding it, and we are uh, assigning current sum as 0. But why we are doing that? Okay, suppose if you have a negative element, suppose you get a negative value, okay, and you are adding it to next sum, okay, the next sum which you are calculating, you are adding this negative value. So what is going to happen? So if you are adding a negative value to a sum, okay, so your next sum is going to obviously decrease. It is never going to increase. Okay, you have a negative number, and you are accepting that, and you are adding that in your next sum. Okay, the sum which you are calculating in the next iteration. When you are doing that by using this negative number, you are simply reducing the total sums value. Okay, because this is a negative number. Okay, if it would have been a positive number, if you are adding it to the next sum, it's going to increase the sums value. But here it's a negative number, and if you're adding the negative number to a next sum, to the next sum which you are calculating, it's simply going to reduce its value. Okay, it's simply going to reduce its total value. That's the reason, if we are getting the current sum less than 0, we are simply assigning the current sum values to 0. Okay, and after this loop executes, we are here returning the maximum sum. Okay, so with the help of this approach, Kadane's algorithm, we have reduced the time complexity of the problem from big O of n square to big O of n. Okay, here you have the big O of n square approach. Okay, and here you have the big O of n approach. Okay, so let's see how it executes. Let's debug and see how it executes. Okay, so we have 2 3 4 and minus 10 in the array. Okay, so let's execute this. Okay, let's execute this and see what we get. We get 9 as the maximum element. Okay, 4 plus 3 plus 2, 9, that's the maximum element. Okay, let's debug it and see like how it flows, how the code flows. Okay, so we have an array of elements, that is 2 3 4 and minus 10. Okay, now the maximum sum is assigned to the lowest possible value, that is this. Okay, and current sum is 0. So now we are starting the for loop. Okay, the current sum here becomes 2, maximum sum is this value. Okay, so the max between this two is 2, so max sum is 2. So is current sum less than 0? So it's false. We move to the next element of the array. Okay, so here current sum becomes 5, so max sum also will become 5. So current sum is 5, which is not less than 0. So we move to the next element. Okay, so here the current sum becomes 9, so max sum also will become 9. Current sum is less than 0, no. We move to the next element of the array, that is minus 10. Okay, so current sum becomes minus 1 and max sum is 9, so max sum will be holding as 9. And here the current sum is less than 0, so we are simply assigning the current sum back to 0, not minus 1. Okay, the loop ends and we are returning the max sum value, and we are printing that. Okay, that is 9. Okay, let's take another example. Okay, okay, suppose this is minus 2, minus 2. Okay, so what would be the output? Output would be 7, 4 plus 3. Okay, so let's see another example. So this is minus 3. So what would be the output? So it would be 4. Okay, because 4 itself is a subarray, as I discussed here. Okay, so I hope you are getting what I'm trying to explain here. Please like this video and subscribe our channel for further updates. Thank you.